such fun. Okay, see if that's okay. Right. Okay. Sorry about that. Hi, I'm Sue Boo, bringing crafting to you. So today I'm calling it a surprise card because you open it up and there you get the surprise of the fish coming through. So that's what I'm calling it. So what I've done is I've got a card base that is 11 3/4 by 5 7/8, scored at 5 7/8, and we're just going to fold that in half. Let me just get that right. So I'm using my trimmer to do that. My bone folder should be about somewhere. I can't see it. Oh, it's right before my eyes. So, okay. So put those on one side for a minute. Now what I did was I got a piece of, and this happens to be called shimmer white cardstock. I don't have watercolour paper, so this is the next best thing that I've got. So you'll need 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. And all I've done is I put my ink pad, my Shy Shamrock. So I just got my Shy Shamrock, put it on my board, got an aqua painter and put some water in it and just painted it across to give it that effect. What you can't see on camera, I don't think it picks it up, is there's a shimmer on it, so that's nice. Okay, so the dies from Around We Go, I'm going to just put that on about there. So it's the 2 dies and 1 that comes about there. And I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. So let me just bring my die cutting machine in. And we need my plates. So I'm going to fix that up. So I'm going to put it in, position my dies where I want them, about like that, bring that down a little bit. Okay, you'll be able to see it better when it's wound through. I've lost my plate now. Where's it gone? It's right before my eyes. You'll be able to see it better when it comes through, and I can show you better the positioning that I have done. So I'm just taking these through. There we go. Now just put that out of the way a minute, and I need to, oh, that's already on, isn't it? I need to I think warm up my glue gun in a minute. I'll leave that for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to take these off now. Let me just put these back in place so I don't lose them. Okay, now what I really wanted to do was not have it cut out like that, but my die cutting machine is so strong it absolutely cuts through with a breeze, so it will fetch them off. So not to worry, because we're going to stick them back down. So as I say, the positioning, to see the positioning, I stuck that one about, let's measure it for you, about 5/8 away from it, and that one was 1 1/4 away. Okay, so we're going to stick glue on it. Now when you do this, let me just move that out of the way. I've got my glue somewhere. Where have I put it? I can't see it now. Where's it gone? I've had it, I've been using it. It's because I'm in such a mess. I should have done a bit of tidying up beforehand and I didn't. Here it is. Okay, so what you want to make sure that you do is all these bits here, just make sure you get a little bit, because we want them to stay down. And I didn't do that on my original, but I've learnt my lesson now. So I want all those to stick down. So I'm going to go and make those stick down. There we go. And same with these. So I'm going to go through these because I want them to stick down. there like this. So I've been inspired, can't remember the lady's name. I'll try and find her again, and I'll try and put it in. She was on, it's a card that I saw on Pinterest, and she'd done a colour wash, and cut this out like this. I'm doing mine slightly different to her, but I was inspired by that, and then I was inspired by Dawn of Glitter Pit. I don't know what Dawn, but she's called Glitter Pit. She's an American lady, and so I've kind of been inspired by both these ladies, and then made a card that inspired me from theirs. And I like doing that, taking two things that I've seen and marrying them together, and that is precisely what I've done. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to put these back in, so I'm just going to lift that up, and I just want to make sure I get glue in the middle only. It's going to get glue. Now this is interesting because I need to try and match it up where it was, and once you've taken it out, I think that'll do. Okay, so I'm putting it back in, making sure that it goes back in, and then I'm going to lift up the edges. Where's my pokey tool? Let me get my pokey tool. So I'm going to curl up. I'm sticking my finger, come on, there, wanting to lift up from the bottom, getting it in until lift up. Some will flatten down by what we're going to put on top, but I want them all up to start with. Let's take away one. There we go. There. There. So that's it. We've flicked them all up now. So it's just so that they're not flattened there. In fact, on this one, I'm going to just see if I can see. Let me get it off. Sticking to me plate. I'm going to just do that first. That will make it so much easier, won't it? And I'll put it in the middle and see whereabouts. I think I've hit it straight away on this one, so I'll just put that in there. Make sure, yeah, they'll go down. That's it, but it doesn't matter because I want them to come up, so it doesn't matter if they don't. Right, so that's that part done, and I've already, so you didn't have to wait for this to be glued, I've already cut out the rosette die, and I've stuck two together. Now what I'm going to do is put it in my trimmer, and I'm going to put the flat end at the top, and I'm going to make sure that it's balanced, so it actually balances at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to get it at 3/4 of an inch on both sides, and just make sure that that is going to be flat there, and then I'm just going to cut that totally in half. So you will see, although I've cut it in half, let's see how well, oh yeah, it is exactly in half. It just looks different with the round on the end. Right, I'm just going to get my glue gun going, so just let me get some space for the glue gun. That's it, my glue gun's there. Right, so while we're doing this, I'm just going to start, I like to start with bending over, and under. And what I'm going to do is one is going to face this way, and it doesn't matter which one you do. So it's two sides of your DSP. I've used the In Colours, and this is Petunia Pop, it's called. And it's rather nice paper. I joined, and of course I got the free paper, card, ink, and the free pens. Can't think. So what I tend to do is I stick glue on the back, the flat piece, and then tuck the flat tab underneath. Make sure that you have got it level, so you want to make sure that that part is level. I'm just going to hold that a bit there, hold it, and then just leave that to dry a little minute, and do the same with the other one. So as I say, this time I want it to be this way, so I'm going to do this with it. And it doesn't matter, because when you actually put it together, you can choose which side you use anyway. So but I'm deliberately doing it this way to remind myself, one that way and one the other way, so it of course coordinates. Now also ahead of time I've cut out my little circle from the die set. Right, so that's that. I want that one that way, so I'm going to put glue on this side, and then bring this round. Now I've done that the wrong way, haven't I? Why have I done it that way? Yeah, because I'm doing that, aren't I? There. So just again, make sure that it's married up and that it is the same height. Just make sure you've got that level, which I have. So just hold it a minute or two. I actually think I could have done it with just one cutout rather than two, actually, with making it in half and smaller ones, but it works. I just tend to ease it into place and tuck it round like that. Okay, so I've tucked it round like that. Now what I do, everybody does this different. I put some glue, because I've cut out two of these. This is going to be for the back and the front, so it contrasts with what I've done here. So if you see, I've got that on that side, and then that's going to be the one in the middle. So that's that way, isn't it? So just gonna do that, and sometimes it's better to do the opposite side, actually. So I'm gonna have one and one, and I'm going to just get the glue on this one. So I'm just going to put the glue there, and the glue gun is actually off camera, so I get off. I put the hot glue on the actual little thing, and that actually today I'm going to knock that off, because I think actually I'm going to do it different. I'm going to just go on the top, squash it on the top. So I've just gone and squashed it on the top, actually, and that's got enough glue to pop this one on, I think. Let's just see if I squash that about. That's dried a bit too quick. Let's have a look what the other side's like. don't normally do it that way. It's gone tighter in places than others. Well, that works. That works. Let's see if I can do it better with this one. Okay, so I'm going to get my see if I can do it in a proper way that I normally do it. So I'll put some glue on my little thing. I'm going to make sure that they're all done. Push it down. You want a slippy surface is the key. A slippy surface so that it will slip down. They're a bit fiddlier when they are smaller. Sometimes I actually just get the glue gun and do it on there, but get down. I'm letting the glue dry a bit too much. Right, and then put this one, so this will be easier. So sometimes I just do this, which is far easier, doing that, and then push this. Oh, I've done it wrong way around, haven't it? That's the one I want. So there, just hold it down for a few seconds, and then we're good to go. There we go. Hasn't gone so well today as what they did off camera, but never mind, it works. Right, just let me move that. I'm going to switch my hot glue gun off because I don't need it anymore. So just in case I run out of power, I'll just have that switched on there. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm having two, let's say, different ones. So I'm going to put that on there. Now, I think actually I'm getting quite a lot of shadow. I'm just going to see if it's going to make a difference. I'm just going to go around and plug the light in and see if it's better, because I seem to have a bit of shadow there. Right, so positioning these about there. So I'm going to put glue on my disc. And I put quite a bit on and position that. You want to hold it down really, and this one. So I'm just doing opposites. Let's say, so put that about there, and I'm gonna stick my heavy block on a minute while we just do other things. Right, I have cut out in the glimmer paper, I've cut out the stylish shapes. So I've got the small fat one in the stylish shapes, and I'm just going to use my shy shamrock. I'm going to do this over the top. Okay, and I'm happy. Commit, there we go. That. And then I've just cut out the thinner long one in the petunia pop, and I'm going to stick this on the back. So I'm going to just put this on the back and just make sure that, let's turn it round, that you've got about even either side. So you want even either side and about the same there and there. So I just thought that brought the petunia pop in again. Okay, I'm just gonna bring in, now I've used different sizes, So I'll tell you my original size and I'll tell you this size. So the original size of the piece that I used was 5 and 5/8 by 2 and 5/8 is what I used. This one, however, I am using is 4 and 7/8 by 2 and 5/8. So it was just that I'd got this left, and rather than breaking in, because I wanted it to be the same colour as the front sheet that I I wanted to make sure it was the same, so I have used the glimmer paper again because it's a creamy white. It's not a white, it's a creamy white. And then it's a thank you, so I've got thank you with all my heart, and I'm going to stick this roughly in the middle. It's okay, so stick this in the middle, there we go. And in the set of Round We Go, there is like a chevron-y type stamp. I don't have that, so in fact I didn't do it on the other one, but I'm going to do it on this one. I'm going to do it opposite way. Let's mix it up a bit. I like to mix things up. So I'm just putting the chevrons opposite ways on that, so we'll leave that for the moment. And then one more thing on the front, hopefully that should be dry now. Yeah, they're dry. I'm just going to come out, and perhaps I should have done this before I put down that. Yes, I should have, but never mind. Just going to go with the chevrons out to give it a little pattern down there. Should have done it before I put those down, but not going to worry because a fish might be there, so that's what I'll do there. Right, so I'm going to put this at the top here, so I'm going to glue that straight down. So you could put it upon dimensionals if you want to. I'm not. I'm going to just put it down. It's going to be in a different position to the other one I did, mixing it up. Okay, and I'm going to leave the decorating totally till the end because I want to do inside. I'm just going to now get rid of my ink pad before I put my fingers in it. So I'm using, is it called Lily Pond, what's it called? I'm using the Lily Pond Lane 6x6 designer series paper. So it's not just got ducks on, it's got these fish on as well. Shame I'm covering up these, but I am. So, because it works for my internal bit for my fish. So these are, I'll just give you the measurements again in a minute. And I want equal borders all the way round. There we go. So that's better this time. I did it wrong when I was making the first one, so I've made sure I've done it. These are 5 and 5/8 each. So you can use 5 and 5/8. So I want to put these on first, and then my mechanism needs to be next. So again, making sure that I've got equal border all the way around. A bit more difficult now. I have decorated the outside, but it's still working. Right, so for your mechanism now, Dawn use card. I'm not, I'm using DSP, and this measures 1.5 by 4.25. It measures. Now you need to score this at 1/2 inch. So you're going to put that in at 1/2 inch, score it on the 4.25 side. So you're going to score it at 1/2 inch. Oh, nearly cutting it. 1/2 inch, then 1.25. So 1.25, then 2 inches, and then 3.5. Okay, 3.5. So I've just done paper that's actually, I've got this, and I'll tell you the measurements of this. I'm going to put this underneath this, so I needed to, I wanted it the same. Right, now, as you can see, let's see, there we go. You can see, put your 1/2 inch at the top, and here's the first score line, second score line, and third score line. What we're going to do is we're going to put our ruler to make a diagonal score down that side and down that side. So I am using my take your pick tool, but I'm not bothering putting it in my take your pick tool. I'm actually just going to use it with the lid on. So I'm going to get it there, so my score lines there, and I'm just scoring that across, and then the other way, so putting it on the score line and putting it ready on the score lines, and just score that across there. Okay, so what we're going to do is fold this now, fold that so that it folds on the diagonal score line, and then fold it the other way on the diagonal fold line, and then just push these two in so that we get, this is the mechanism. Okay, so what we did is we folded it like that, folded it like that, and then push those two in like that. Okay, now the end piece, the 1/2 inch score line, just going to fold that both ways, and I'm going to do the same with the other score line at the bottom. Okay, right, now I'm going to fold it up again and leave that flat, and just let me position this. That's going out a bit kilter, so let's just see what's happening. It will work anyway, no problem with it. Okay, this, let me just, I'm going to just put glue on this 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm just putting glue on that 1/2 inch, and I'm going to put this up against the fold. I'm going to make it in the middle. I'm only eyeballing it, but that's going to go up against the fold, eyeballing it about in the middle. When I'm happy, I'm going to come it down and press that down and hold it a little minute. Okay, and then just check, yeah, then I'm going to, this bit here, the last bit here, I'm going to put glue on that, only on that bit. There we go, and then I'm going to fold the card to pick that bit up. Whoops, my glue's in the way. So hold that down to pick it up. That's it. Yeah, that's okay. And I'm going to leave that for a minute or two like that, and I'm just going to pop my board on again and pop that out of the way while I bring back in my trimmer. So what we actually need and I'm going to roughly measure, because I can't remember how long I made mine. Let me just, let's make them see there. I made them about 2.5, I think. So right in here I've got my acetate. So I'm just going to bring my piece out. This will do. Keep all the bits I've cut, doesn't really matter. Now you only want 1/4 inch strips. So I'm just going to cut a 1/4 inch. If you cut larger, then 1/4 inch, it's too much. So I'm not going to worry about the size going across, because I'm just going to cut 2/4 inches to start with. Sorry, you won't be able to see the 1/4 inches because it's invisible, isn't it? And if I'm not careful, I will lose them. Right, so I'm going to do them 2.5. Did I say 2.5? I think. So I'm going to make them 2.5 and chop that off. And I'm just going to double check with the size now of the original card, just to see if that, see if that looks about, yes it does. So where's my 2.5? So that's 1. I'll put that behind my fissures, and I've put the other one down and it's disappeared. Where you gone? So that's good, isn't it? That's very good that I cut it and lost it straight. Oh, I found it. See, it's invisible. Right, so I'm going to do my 2.5 again. 2.5 there. Okay. Right, put them actually that you can see them quite nicely on the black. So just stick mine on the black for the moment. Okay, move that out of the way. Right, I'm going to bring back in my card now. I've put it underneath where I moved it to. Well, that's good. There, I've stretched it well out of my reach. That was clever of me. There we go. So I'm going to open this up now, and we can flatten it. That's fine. And I'm going to bring in some glue dots now. Let's get those out. And all I'm going to do, these are the small glue dots, and I'm just going to stick glue dot right at the end, and then just another one right up against it there, and then I'm going to put it on so that it's going forward. Okay, so it's going forward, so when the mechanism works, you'll see it brings the shape round like that. Can you just about see that moving? Right, so I want glue dots for the other side, so just exactly the same right at the top, and then again, whoops, 4 butterfingers now, and I'm putting it right against that other one, and then sticking myself up, and then right against the edge, so that they'll go up and down like that. Okay, now I am going to stick my fish on, because it'll be easier if I stick my fish on. So I've got to decide now what the best way to do this I found is if you kind of close your card, because you don't want your fish coming down below. Now that's too big, so I'm going to stick this here, because we don't want that fish down there. So I'm going to not have a whole fish, and I'm going to stick glue dots now on top. So let me just get rid of some of that. Going to stick them on the top this time, so pick that up. stick it there. Make sure it doesn't go over your, and about one halfway roughly down. You want to make sure, I'm just going to double check and I'll show you what I mean. Get off, sticky, sticky, sticky. Right, hopefully you can see that. So they're not override, that's better. They're not overriding your actual acetate. And as I say, if you close it like this, and you can see I'm peeping underneath so I can see where that's going to go. So that's going to go like that, and because I've done it like that, it's not going to go over there. Right, now let me have a look what I've got. I've got a curly one here and that might work. So let's take that right up. That's too high. So if I angle it, I'm going to keep seeing till I know it's not coming above. That's it. So I want it about there. So again, I'm going to stick one right at the top. So where's my glue dots? Put them down again. So I'm going to get a glue dot, put that one right at the top, but making sure it doesn't stick over, because if you stick it over the side, then what will happen is it will, the mechanism and everything, it will all stick. Everything will be stuck together. So I'm going to do that there. Hopefully that's in the right position, and it was the pink one. So again, I'm going to turn this the other way so it's easier for me to do it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to see where that will fit. I think it will fit there. Now this will come down like that. Okay, right, now the piece of DSP, and you can use card for this part, but I'm using DSP, is 2 7/8 by 5 7/8, but I've actually cut just a minute fraction off the 7/8 side. So let me show you what I mean by that. So I put it in at 5 7/8, and then I just pull it a little tiny fraction away from it. Can you see? So that will just give me the clearance of the card. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is stick glue only on this bit. Okay, I'm going to stick it on that bit, but I should, before I do that, I'm going to bring in my verse, and I'm going to position this on top of my DSP first. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do that quick. So make sure I've got equal increments. And as I say, I have made, this is smaller than my original one, because it was a piece that I'd left, so I wanted to use it. Now I'm going to just be concentrating on the edges of my card to make sure that it's not poking out. Now if it does, that's not an issue, because what you can do, let's just pop that down, and mine is, even though I cut it that fraction smaller, just shows that the card base is not the correct. I buy pre-made ones and it's not the correct size. So what I'm going to do is, it's going to be quite fun, I'm going to cut this so that it is the same. So it's a bit awkward, this, as it, so that, perhaps make it, just check along your card base. I didn't double check my card base, I should have done. That's still a bit, just make sure It's easier to do it like that actually. So there, now it doesn't show at all. So I'll see if that one's as easy to do. So I'm using the back side of the card and just cutting that off so that it's level with my card base. Okay, so it's just those smidgens that I've cut off, but that's working. Okay, so there, my fish come out for a swim. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do, I will actually, I think, write on there. You could write on here as well, but it's if people display it open, I always like to write where it's not being showed. Right, now, ahead of time, I fussy cut my little fish out. Looks like they've gone for a swim already. So we've got some grey ones. I may even cut these little tiny bits out because I like to stick those on the edges as well. So I've got some grey and pink, and I was sure that there was another half one there. I was sure there was a hot orange little one somewhere, and it's run off. Well, we'll manage without it. Don't know where it's gone. Okay, so I quite liked the idea of the fish swimming underneath, so I'm going to put this one underneath. So swimming underneath, stuck in that, swimming between those. Okay, and gonna put one swimming down there. If you wanted, you could stick these up on dimensionals. I'm not. I'm going to leave them down, and then we'll have another grey one, I think, coming. Which way is it? I think we'll have him just leaving there, like that. And then this pink one, I think I'm going to have that right on the bottom here. Okay, just swimming onto the picture there. There we go. And then I've got another little grey one, and which way does he want to be? He's kind of swimming down. Let's see where. I might have him down there. Okay, so he's going to swim down on that edge just there, coming in just there. And I'm lining them up, not with the edge of the card, but with the edge of my layer, my matte layer. Okay, if I do come across that orange one, I'll put him on, but I can't seem to see it, so whether I did or didn't, I don't know. Right, I liked the idea of putting my glossy dots, I think they're called, and I put these in the middle of the like flowery things. So I'm going to put one in. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. There, put that right. Oh, hang on. Yeah, the small ones. So I'm going to stick you about there, I think. Show one of the smaller ones. Get one of the bigger ones now. Come on. I'm having fun with it. All butterfingers today. Come on. There we go. That's it. And one more big one to fit in that one there. And that's kind of made a triangle. And then these are what I've had years, but I think they're great. These were the resin hearts from I think it was Snail It, or yeah, I think it was Snail It. And I quite liked the idea of these coming down and kind of diagonal like this. So quite like them coming down like that. Okay, like that. Okay, there, like that. So yeah, that's how I did them. Move that out of the way. So here's my original one. Move all those out of the way. So the original thank you card with the bigger fish, and then I decided to do this one with the smaller fish. I think I'd like the one with the smaller fish because these stand out a lot more, whereas on this one maybe they get lost a bit, but not too bad. But oops, that's because I keep pulling on that. I'll glue that back together. There we go. I keep catching my thumb on it. Not a good idea. I think actually let's do that. I think actually with the smaller one I don't catch my thumb on it, so I would recommend that you make your card bit that little bit smaller like I did rather than my original one, because I do seem to catch the heavy card and that just fetched it off, whereas on this one I don't seem to catch it at all. So I think that probably might be better. You could even shorten this as well. You don't have to have that all the way from the top to the bottom, so you could shorten that as well if you wanted to. So as long as it doesn't show your fish. Oh yeah, it might show your fish, so that's why it's that length, because it will show your fish. So thank you very much for stopping by. I do appreciate that you've watched it. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and please share it. I would love to be able to get my viewings a lot higher so that it can invest for me. I think when you get so many people watching, then YouTube will start to give me some money, which I would then invest in products so that I can show you more products, because now I don't work anymore, and so my money's all run out. So you will get old stuff, because the old stuff's good. I still like all the old stuff, not got rid of any of my old stuff, but it just means I can't invest in new stuff. But there's lots of longevity with it all, because the products last, and I've got tons of DSP, obviously not current, but tons of DSP and cardstock, etc., and dies and stamps, and that I feel I've not used enough. So thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Stay safe, stay well. Bye for now.